And we're back. We've got our Raspberry Pi imaged and we know the dongles have worked. Now we've got to start doing all the hardware mounting. You see here's our Raspberry Pi. I've also got it hooked up to a USB hub and I've mounted it on a little piece of scrap cutting board. That we have here a 50,000 milliamp hour battery bank for like charging your cell phones or your laptop. And on my version, I've added this switch or relay basically that will check for power from this external plug that will be accepting the wall wart. It will connect here. If power isn't present, it'll look on this side here for the battery bank and then output through here, back around, and power up the Raspberry Pi. All this is going to be mounted inside of a case. I won't say that it's named after a waterfowl native to the southern United States. It is one that's named after a Native American tribe. It can be purchased through Harbor Freight. I can't afford the ones for the waterfowl. So the line you see here, the dark blue, this inside here, these are the internal dimensions of this this case. And we're also going to mount in some waterproof housings, network interface, USB cable, and the power plug that I was mentioning earlier. That way, if I want to have it closed up, buttoned up, and I can have it, we can set it up somewhere, plug it into wall power and to a large screen or a monitor, and show off the oohs and ahs and let people talk about how cool it is. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to do an endurance test on the system itself, on the battery and the Raspberry Pi. I've got my dongles connected, and we've got our cable run over here. We're not going to use wall power. We're going to see just how long we can get out of this 50,000 milliamp battery. So we've got a switch here that I've had from another Raspberry Pi kit, and as you can see, it is currently off. So we're going to, first thing we need to do is connect our power. And if I can get stuff untangled here a little bit, this is a USB cable to open end on the other side, and I put some ferrules on there so I didn't stick bare wires into the terminal blocks there. I'll put links to all the hardware and all the stuff we use in this build project. I'll have it in the descriptions on each part. So we're going to plug it in, and if I can see if I can line it up correctly this time. I always have a 50-50 shot, and I always guess wrong. Okay, and there we are. We're going to, I guess we first need to turn on the box. Okay, there we are. Switch is on, and I've also got to connect our USB hub. And there we are. See the little cooling fans are spinning now. And we're going to let it run. We're going to see just how long this thing will run on that 50,000 amp hour bank. Milliamp hour bank. I'm willing to bet it's probably going to be, I'd say, the better part of a day and a half. So we're going to start it now, and I'm going to jump over here to the computer and we will connect to it, and I will show you the command that we're going to run to track just how long this thing stays up and running. Give me just a second and I'll get the computer going, and we'll see what we've got. All right, we've gotten into our Pi, and we need to run a command that will track the uptime all the way up to right before the battery dies. So I talked to somebody on temporarily offline ham radio, Steve, K9MG, and in one of his videos, he had the exact command we need. It's watch uptime, and then you want to pipe it to T, just like a T fitting, and we're going to send it to a log file called uptime.log. And that's it. We're going to let it run. You see right now it's been running for a total of 16 minutes, and it checks that time. It updates it every 2 seconds. So we're just going to let this thing run, and we're going to see just how far it goes before the battery finally just gives out. And we'll be back in just a second so we can see how long that turns out to be. The Pi has run the battery bank completely down to nothing and has powered itself off. I've booted it back up, and we're back on grid power, and now we're going to see just how long our Pi stay running on the battery bank. And we're going to use the command cat uptime.log. Okay, it ran for a total of 14 hours and 20 minutes. I'm kind of surprised. I would have expected longer for a 50,000 milliamp hour battery bank. Okay, that's strange, but hey, still 14 hours and 20 minutes of runtime for a Raspberry Pi out in the field is going to be pretty good. So the next thing we're going to do in the next installment of the video, we will start mounting the hardware into the box that's named after a Native American tribe and not a waterfowl in the southern United States. So stand by for that.